as possible can. Welcome back to another video on Give Me a Buy. And in today's video, I will be moving on from my top 10 lists, as I will be doing a ranking video. With this one being where I rank the identities of the infamous Pretty Liars antagonist, A. This includes the characters who were A and the characters who were part of the A team. That includes Redcoat, the Queen of Hearts, the Black Swan, and the Black Widow. But now that's out of the way, let's go. 17th, Alison DeLaurentis. Okay, before all you Pretty Liars fans that watch my videos get all cryptic about it, hear me out. Yes, she was never A. Yes, Alison was never A. That's clear as day. She was never A. And she was also never part of the A team. But it did say in the introduction that members of the A team include that the characters who will be on this list include the characters who were A and the characters who were part of the A team, which included the Black Swan, the Queen of Hearts, the Black Widow, and the one that Alison was for a little while, Redcoat. And she was Redcoat for a while. Redcoat on the Pretty Liars Wiki is one of A's employees, along with the ones along with the other three that I said, the Black Widow, the Black Swan, and the Queen of Hearts. So because of this, Alison counts. She's not any higher because technically she was only acting as Redcoat to hide from A, and also she was only Redcoat for a few episodes. 16th, Aria Montgomery. Aria was forced into doing a few deeds for A. If she wanted to dispose of a file containing something Aria wrote about Ezra. When her and the Liars found out Ezra knew Alison, so she doesn't go any lower. However, one of the things Aria did that while working for A was trash Emily and Alison's nursery for their baby. So that was bad, to be fair. But luckily, for me and most fans, she doesn't. But for me, she does not deserve to be any higher, and that's because she was one of the main characters. And A can make any character in Pretty Liars do anything. Before we get to 15, I want to address something. And that is, rankings usually, in context, are from the worst to the best. However, this one is a bit different, because we're ranking identities of A, and A is evil. So this ranking is not from the worst to the best. This list is from the least evil identity of A, or A team, or member of the A team, to the most evil identity of A, or member of the A team. So number 17 is the least evil, and number 1 is the most evil. But now let's continue with the ranking. Now that's out of the way, let's continue with the ranking. 15th, Spencer Hastings. Spencer was part of the A team for a few episodes, and that's why she is in this ranking, but is not any higher because she didn't really do anything in that time. 14th, Kobe Kavanaugh. Like his girlfriend Spencer, Toby was only part of the A team for a few episodes, and is not any higher for the same reason as Spencer. 13th, Mona Vandervoort, the first A of the series, revealed as such at the end of Season 2. Mona did a lot of things as A. Sent many threatening messages to the lies, ran Hannah over with a car, and much, much more, which I've forgotten about, despite rewatching the series only just recently. Despite rewatching episodes of the series recently. Mona isn't any higher despite being the first A, because she ended up becoming an ally to the lies despite doing all those bad things to them. 12th, Sydney Driscoll. Minor member of the A-Team, higher than the people below her because they were either only part of the A-Team for a few episodes or they've made up since wearing the infamous black hoodie that A always wears. 11th, Ren Kingston. Worked together with the big bad of Season 7, Alex Drake, also known as AD, until he was turned into ashes and then into a pendant. More about that in a future video. 10. Darren Wilden. Considered one of the worst characters in Picture Lies, Wilden poses as one of A's associates, the Queen of Hearts, and helped with the events that happened in the Season 3 episode, This is a Dark Ride. So, he finishes in 10th. 9th, Lucas Gottesman. Not the biggest character in the series, but he was part of the A-Team who worked for A alongside Mona. The reason why he is this high is the Mona he was working with was a Mona who still wasn't on the best of terms with the liars. 8th, Sarah Harvey. Sarah worked under one of the most infamous A's in PLL, that being Charlotte, so that is why she is so high. 7th, Melissa Hastings. Just like Wilden, who we talked about earlier, Melissa also posed as A's associate, the Queen of Hearts, and helped with the events of the Season 3 episode, This is a Dark Ride. But unlike Wilden, she also worked with Mona when it was announced that Alison would be returning to Rosewood, so she's slightly higher than fellow Queen of Hearts Wilden. 6th, Mary Drake. The actual mother of Spencer and the sister to deceased Jessica De Laurentiis, Alison's mom. Mary Drake hires Elliot Rollins, Archer Dunhill, to treat Alison, not knowing that Archer Dunhill would end up drugging Alison and making her mentally insane in a bad way, so that brings her down. And she was also sent to jail alongside her daughter and Spencer's twin sister, Alex Drake. So that also brings her down a notch. Mary also commits murder by killing Jessica De Laurentiis. Because of these three things mentioned, Mary finishes in 6th on this ranking. Fifth, Nolcom. There are two things that puts Nolcom into the top 5. And they are: 1, he helped set up the dollhouse, the place that the liars were tortured at, and when Mona was found out to be alive despite her apparent death committed at the hands of Alison, which was also staged, and he was one of the only characters who in the series committed attempted murder, as in the episode The Darkest Night. He grabs a giant axe which he intended to use to kill Emily and Hannah, which ultimately ends in the axe being lodged into the ground, which leads to Noel Khan being pushed by Hannah, which causes him to fall and decapitate himself with the axe he tried to use to kill Emily and Hannah. It's because of these two things, one that will be talked about in a future video, that just about puts him into the top 5th, which just about puts him into the top 5 in 5th. Fourth, Jonathan. The second A of the PL series, revealed in the Season 5 premiere Escape from New York. She makes the top 4 because of this, but is much higher than the first A, Mona, because on that Mona, Shauna didn't become an ally to the lies. having died shortly after being revealed as A. And she also could have killed Ezra, who she shot in the gut, or one of the liars who she pointed the gun at. And yes, Mona could have killed Hannah in season 1 when Hannah went over her with her, but she's made up for it, while Shauna is dead. Third, Alex Drake. She may not have been the main antagonist in the season 7 finale till Death Do Us Part, which was a 1 hour and 48-minute special that wrapped up the Purifiers series until the flop that was Purifiers and Perfectionists. Let's go back to talking about Alex Drake. But enough of that. Let's go back to talking about Alex Drake. She kidnapped both Spencer and Ezra, who in the special was getting married to Arya. Not only did she kidnap both Spencer and Ezra, but she impersonated Spencer on multiple occasions, and Ezra even met her one time while she was masquerading as Spencer. Finally, Alex Drake's most heinous act was killing Ren when she turned him, who she turned into ashes and made his who she turned into ashes and then used those ashes, and then used Ren's ashes to make it, to turn him in, and then used Ren's ashes to make a pendant. She's only third because she was only in the final episode, plus scenes where she impersonated Spencer, which is less screen time than my top 2. Speaking of, two, Jenna Marshall. She's the longest known antagonist in the Pretty Liars franchise, who wanted revenge against the Liars ever since Alison blinded her with a smoke bomb. And since then, she has slept and had sex with her stepbrother, Toby Kavanaugh, held a gun up at Spencer, Alison, and Arya, shot Spencer, and did many more things across the series, so she more than deserves second. However, one good thing she did that brings her down a notch was kick mean girl Alison to the curb in season 7. Unfortunately, other than that, Jenna is a bad character and a bad person. Luckily for her, not as bad as my number 1. Charlotte De Laurentiis, Charlotte De Laurentiis, aka Charles, aka Cece Drake. She may have only been in a few episodes after being revealed as the final egg before the 5-year time jump in season 6, but she accidentally hit Alison on the head and allowed Jessica De Laurentiis, her mum, who was also Alison's mum, and I know and yes, it wasn't her fault, but she still did it. She also threatened Mona before Mona killed her, and Charlotte also dated Elliot Wallace, who was actually called Archer Dunhill, who was a bad person as he drugged Alison with a drug that made her look mentally insane. Because of these things, Charlotte, in my opinion, deserves number 1 in this list as the worst character to be A or be part of the A team. The worst of the worst. Thank you for watching today's video, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to see my upcoming videos. We're counting down to my farewell to Gordon's video, with only 6 videos left until that. Until next time, I'm out, and this has been Jenna O'Brien. Peace.